Hello? Ah, yes. How do we heal from trauma? Well, the first thing I feel called to say is that as a holistic health provider, we need to prevent trauma as much as possible. Because once there's trauma, it's not that it's too late, but now we're running after the cart, you know? So, first steps is to take a look at ourselves as a community, see where trauma is happening, and see where trauma could happen and take steps to avoid it. And that, to me, is about us returning to as close to our indigenous roots as we can possibly get. You know, we have a rich, beautiful culture in this country and beyond. It's more than slavery. And how did we survive all of that? How did we survive all that we did? And a lot of it had to do with us being together as a community, us looking at each other as sacred vessels of God, not looking at each other as opportunities to make money or to acquire power, right? And the more that we are able to look at each other that way, I feel that the goodness flows from our hearts. I believe organically we're all good by nature, and we all are affected by things that help us make other choices that are not so good, right? So if we remember who we are, and we remember that we're made in the image and likeness of God, how do we treat each other? And how especially do we treat someone who's bringing new life into the world? That is a celebration. Whether she is 33 with a doctorate and a nice house in Piedmont, or whether she is 15 and getting ready, you know, to struggling through being a sophomore in high school. That experience is point of celebration. New life coming into our community. And how do we want to embrace that? How do we want to embrace that being and her partner and that family? Once damage has been done, once trauma has been felt, people can have a bad experience. It doesn't have to be a trauma. You can have a bad thing happen to you, and it doesn't have to be a trauma. How does it not have to be a trauma? Well, if something bad happens to you and people around you go, wow, that was effed up what just happened. And everybody talks about it. And you're not shut down in talking about it. And if you need to shake and cry, people let you shake and cry. No one says, shush up, girl. No one gives you a tissue, and no one tells you to suck it up. If you're able to do that for as long as you're need to do that, and people are bringing you food and rubbing your back and watching your kids, supporting your mate, because your mate's been traumatized too in birth. Men get traumatized in birth all the time. No one talks about that. They don't have the hormones that mom has available to help maybe give her a little bit of a cushion. The dad's there watching all that on fresh air, right? So when he goes home and starts acting a little tweaky, where everybody goes, oh, good Lord, men are tweaky. Well, what did he just see? Happen to the person that he loved the most, right? So if we as a community know all of that, and we help step people through that, there can be bad things that happen that don't have to go and live in the cells of our bodies and become trauma, first and foremost.
Thank you for that. Thank you.